Okay, good morning everybody. It's Michelle over at Hesketh Emporium, and I am going to be making a pair of Bruce boxes this morning. And the pattern comes from freesewing.org. It's free. You can give a donation by buying them a coffee, or you can become a patron even. So there's lots of different ways, and they've got wonderful patterns on there which you download once you've actually put all your measurements in for your particular size. So you can do this for your whole family if you're making, for example, boxes for all the boys in your family. Each one of them can have their own measurements installed into the program, and it will generate a specific to each person pattern, which is amazing. And so I've been making the Bruce boxes for many years now, and today I'm just making another pair or two for the hubster. And so here they are. I'm just going to show you. I've actually done some overlocking on them. I use a Baby Lock Eclipse or something like that anyway. But I do the overlocking first, and then I come to my sewing machine just because I actually find it much quicker and easier than getting the cover stitch machine out. And I do a zigzag or some sort of pattern on the top of that as well. Now that's the outside, but you can see if you want to, you can do that on the inside as well and have your stitches showing. But the reason I need to tell you about this for this particular project is because for stretch fabrics you want to use a stretch needle. It's really important when you're sewing for good stitch quality and to maintain the right stitch length and width, and not skip and do all of those awkward things when you've got the wrong type of needle in. So for stretch fabrics, I use a stretch needle. So how do I know what needle is in my machine at any one time? A lot of really good brands of needles have a color coding on them, and you can go and look that up and you'll know what it is. However, you won't necessarily know whether that's a used needle or an old needle, or if it's brand new, whatever it is. So what I came up with this little idea, so it's decorative as well. I took a box frame just from one of the bigger Swedish box stores, and I have drawn some little pretty designs around it. And I've made a little, basically it's a pin cushion, and it's filled with walnut, crushed walnuts. Where you get these is quite often in pet stores, because they use this in the bottom of reptile cages. And so that's where I got a huge bag of it for. And I use this in all of my pin cushions because there's a little bit of oil in walnut shells. It also is very dry. So when you put your needles in, it sharpens them a little, or keeps them sharp anyway, and it stops the moisture from damaging your needles over time. So if you've sometimes not sewn for a while and you've taken a pin out of your pin cushion and it feels rough when it pulls through the fabric, you know your needle is probably going to have to be thrown away, because even that fine rust on them, you can't see it, but you can feel it, and certainly the fabric will know that it's not right. So I've taken little hexagons and I've marked them up with a few different types of needles, and the inside is basically just for, I don't know, anything else I suppose, but for now I've got a twin needle in there. I've then made a little flag, which I am going to improve on with a piece of fabric, but I've taken a pin and I have written on it current needle. And what I do is when I come to take a needle out of the pin cushion, I put the current needle marker into that spot. So I know right now there's a stretch needle in my machine. So what I did this morning, there was a universal needle in, and that was where the flag was. I took the flag out and returned the needle to here, and I took a stretch needle from here and I moved my current needle flag to there. The nice thing with this is I hang it on the wall and it looks really nice but it does the job of helping me identify which needle is in there. I used to use the needle cover or the case that came with the needle, and I would stick it to the machine over here. But I didn't like that anyway. It was one of those, try it, see if I like it. And there's many ways for you to do this, but this is my current way of doing it, and I really do enjoy that. Equally, I suppose you could make yourself a little needle or needle book holder. Let me try and open this up the way I've done here. And each one of these sleeves or pages could be for a different needle, and you could identify it perhaps by putting a bookmark in that location, or the same as I've done there, put a little tag that says that's the current needle that you're using. So each one of these sleeves could be for different types of needles. So there's two ways that you can do that, and it works really well because now I know with confidence that when I sew with that needle, it's the right needle for the fabric. And it may not sound important when you're a beginner sewer, but honestly, as you get more advanced and you start to become more familiar with different types of fabric, you'll realize how important it is to have the right needle for the fabric that you're using. So there's my tip for the day. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.